of Guns and Ammunition, a coalition of gun rights groups filed a lawsuit minutes after the bills were signed. I'm Shelley Adler.
And Bank of America raising its starting pay to $20 an hour over a 2-year period, starting with a hike next month. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. In consumer news, gas prices keep going up.
Why? Well, the summer driving season is approaching, demand is holding steady, and they've got maintenance issues with those refineries. They got to keep them up. The AAA says gas is now $2.74 a gallon. That's up 5 cents since last week, and up 28 cents in a month. And prices are up everywhere across the country, but some of the largest increases are on the West Coast and across the nation's midsection. I'm Rita Foley.
Living conditions deteriorating in taxpayer-funded apartments for the poor, but landlords can still count on payments from the federal government. Inspection scores have been declining for years at apartments assigned to low-income tenants. Meanwhile, few owners face serious consequences. Most failing inspection involve urgent health or safety violations, which can range from electrical hazards to rats. More of these stories at townhall.com. I'm John Scott.
The following is an America Matters media production. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the station or its advertisers, although we think they should. But that's the opinion of America Matters Media.
America spends 5 to 10 times more on health care than any other country in the world. Then why does America rank number 43 worldwide for longevity? Third world countries, such as Cuba and Costa Rica, rank higher than the U.S. So what's wrong with health care in America? This is what's wrong. Our $3 trillion healthcare industry is focused on disease management, while 70% of our planet relies on traditional indigenous medicine that is focused on health optimization. Learn how. Join Dr. Dan Royal on the show The Royal Treatment, bringing you the latest information on the best of medicine, biotechnology, and pharmacology, as well as secrets from the past. These secrets have withstood the test of time and are being rediscovered today. In fact, indigenous healthcare practitioners are using them for the benefit of their patients who seek optimal health and wellness. Now, here is Dr. Dan Royal.
Greetings, listeners. I am Dr. Dan Royal, like the man said, and you are now listening to The Royal Treatment. We are here every week to answer your health questions, and if you have a question, you can always email it or them to me at droyal@royalmedicalclinic.com. That's D as in Daniel, Royal, R-O-Y-A-L, like Royal Blue, at Royal Medical Clinic, all one word, .com. Remember, if we use your question on the air, we will send you a free bottle of RBC Blend, which is a very interesting product because we use that product to increase your circulating stem cells. That in and of itself has health benefits, but the value is $100, including shipping. That's something that I prescribe for my patients, and I even use for myself because there is lots of research showing that, guess what? This product actually works. Much research was done on animals as well as in humans, documenting the fact that this product does increase circulating stem cells to the point that when we do our trade secret technology stem cell therapy, by which we obtain stem cells from your circulating peripheral blood. In other words, we don't have to do a bone marrow or a fat cell extraction in order to get stem cells. Those are mesenchymal cells. We want pluripotent stem cells, the type that will differentiate into all three of your germ cell layers, and that's the same thing you get from umbilical cord blood cells and from amniotic fluid. The difference is our concentrations are much higher, and they're also much safer because they're coming from you. The question people always have is, well, if I use stem cells from a younger source, won't that make me younger? Well, the reality is, guess what? Stem cells are the same. They have an age of 0. Whether they're obtained from you or a baby, the difference is the telomeres. But we haven't heard of anybody that's dying from short telomeres. Telomere is just something that we can evaluate that seems to correlate with a longer life. But the reality is, when you use stem cells, you're looking for more immediate benefits. You're not looking for benefits over a lifetime or a period of years. You're looking for immediate results. And so that's probably a non-issue. Anyway, let's take a time or a moment to thank our sponsors. We'd like to thank the Turtle Healing Band Clinic. That's where I work here in Las Vegas. And if you'd like to reach us here, the number is 702-595-7564. I'm sorry, that's a different number. The number we use here is 702-562-1454. 702-562-1454. This is an Indian Nation facility, or I should say we practice indigenous medicine under the supervision, under the sovereign immune protection of the Crow Nation, which is in Montana. They're one of 573 federally recognized tribes. We'd also like to thank First Nation Medical Board. Who is the First Nation Medical Board? They license practitioners of indigenous medicine across the entire United States because there are physicians in 48 states that need such protection because they don't have the opportunity for dual licensure from their medical boards. You may not know this, but if your physician wants to help you be healthier and he gives you something such as IV vitamin C, which is unconventional therapy, in other words, it's not something that is promoted by Big Pharma for the or modern medicine for the treatment of much of anything for which insurance will pay, he takes his license into his own hands. In other words, he is at risk. Dual licensure provides him the protection he needs to help patients who are seeking health optimization. And if you remember from last week's program with Dan Newbold, CEO of Vivicare Insurance, that company, I should say, is a health program policy administrator. In other words, they provide what you are seeking if you don't want disease care and sick management. There is an alternative. That is what used to be known as the major medical insurance policies that insurance companies no longer carry because they're in the sick care business. But the patients that we see are interested in health optimization, and that's what we're here to help you do, achieve that for yourself. And believe it or not, there are programs available to help you accomplish that. Vivicare. Soon we will have those forms on all of our websites so that you can apply for such coverage in your own life. You can get the quotes you need. These are high deductible but low premium insurance, which are accompanied by a health savings account that is completely tax deductible. You can use those health savings accounts to pay for your health care, including your supplements and all other things your physician might recommend. But we'll talk more about that later when the forms are available. Right now, we want to take some time to review our obituaries. People have died too young from diseases they shouldn't have had. Why do we do this? Well, those of you who listen to our program know that life expectancy in the United States is declining. It has declined for the, well, I should say, the last 4 years, but officially the 3 years of 2015, 16, 17. Once the figures are in for 2018, we can officially say 4 years, setting a new record for the United States. In other words, we're headed in the wrong direction. If you want to live longer and healthier, well, perhaps you should consider moving to another country or taking time to invest in your health to beat the odds. What are the odds? Well, if you are a woman, average life expectancy is about 81 years of age, and if you're a man, about 76 with an average of 78.5. We're going to take a look at those who have died too young from diseases they shouldn't have had within the last week here in Las Vegas and Reno, as well as internationally. I'm Dr. Dan Royal. You are listening to The Royal Treatment. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll continue our discussion, so please stay right with us.
Can your own stem cells heal you? The miracle of life begins when an egg and a sperm unite. They form a single stem cell. Stem cells will keep dividing until directed by the body to become something else. Natural occurring stem cells can be found in all tissues of your body. Can your own stem cells help your body heal and repair itself? Find out more by calling Dr. Dan Royal at 702-562-1454. Dr. Royal has developed the unique patent-pending process for obtaining stem cells from your own blood. Stem cells can be concentrated, prepared, and delivered to areas where you need them most to repair old, damaged, and dying cells. Can your own stem cells help your body heal and repair itself? Are you a cancer patient in remission who needs rejuvenation for optimal health and wellness? Find out more by calling Dr. Dan Royal at 702-562-1454. Don't wait, call today. That number again is 702-562-1454.
Call Sursec Dental because you're worth it. They can make your smile perfect. You're gonna love your new smile. Sursec Dental for a perfect smile. Sursec Dental has a $125 special that includes a cleaning, x-rays, a free Sonicare toothbrush, and a free cosmetic makeover consultation. Sursec Dental for a perfect Call 827-1113.
Gimme candy. Gimme candy. Gimme candy, USA.
Gimme Candy, Sunburst, Choco Rocks, Salted Caramel Pretzel Bites, Dark Chocolate Espressos, Choco Pistachios, Gimme Candy Coated Almonds, Hot Rocks, and Nevada Rocks. Gimme Candy, everyone loves Gimme Candy. Get Gimme at 7-Elevens, Reno, Incline Village, Truckee, Sparks, Sun Valley, and Carson City. Gimme Candy. Thanks for a great year. Visit Gimme Candy, 405 Edison Way, Reno. Gimme Candy and 7-Eleven. Gimme Candy.
Hi everybody, this is Sharon Oren and I'm here for Coffee with Sharon, the newest, hottest radio show of Northern Nevada. So why don't you join me on April 18th, 5 to 6. Remember, April 18th, 5 to 6 on my new weekly show when we're going to have everybody that is somebody and everybody that you didn't know was somebody joining me over here for a Coffee with Sharon, talking about Northern Nevada, our local politics, and what's happening in our little state. So tune in, April 18th, 5 p.m. I'll be here. Will you?
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 31 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people. Get the facts at beyondido.org. Brought to you by the Gill Foundation and the Ad Council.
This is America Matters Media
on AM 1180 KCKQ,
a Lotus broadcast station, the power of radio since 1967.
Want to expand your advertising dollar? Sponsor this or any America Matters program by calling 775-827-8900, extension 2. Now back to the show.
We're back to the show, and I'm Dr. Dan Royal, and you are listening to The Royal Treatment. We're here every week to answer your health questions. And as promised, we're going to continue our discussion in the second segment of our show, where we review the obituaries of people who've died too young from diseases they shouldn't have had. Now, during the next third and fourth segments of our show, we do have a guest. Dr. True Ott will be here to talk about some very interesting things that he's discovered, and we want to share with you, particularly about a product, or I should say a food known as barley and its health benefits. All right, so those who died too young from diseases they shouldn't have had in the last week are living in, or were living in, Las Vegas and Reno. So let's start there. We have a 46-year-old woman, a mother of a twin boy and girl, who passed away. 52-year-old man passed away after leaving 5 children and 9 grandchildren behind. A 53-year-old woman who passed away. A 54-year-old man, a veteran of the U.S. Navy, an electrical engineer, passed away. 54-year-old man, a drywall contractor for 25 years, passed away. We have a 54-year-old man, a tile setter and streetcar racer, who passed away. 56-year-old man, a marriage and family counselor, passed away. 57-year-old man who was born in Las Vegas died after a long battle with renal failure and pneumonia. 58-year-old woman who owned a small ladies' clothing boutique passed away from pancreatic cancer. 64-year-old man, a master potter, died suddenly during his sleep. 64-year-old woman who worked as an escrow officer in the title industry passed away. 68-year-old man, a pastor whose wife preceded him in death in 2008, passed away. 69-year-old woman, a labor and delivery nurse, Lamaze instructor, and seamstress, passed away. 71-year-old woman who worked as an escrow officer passed away from cancer-related complications. 71-year-old man, an attorney, passed away from complications due to type 1 diabetes. 71-year-old woman passed away peacefully after a 14-year battle with Alzheimer's disease. 72-year-old man who worked for the Nevada Highway Department passed away from heart disease. 73-year-old man, a former bishop in the LDS Church, passed away. 73-year-old woman, a Las Vegas artist, passed away after battling a rare form of cancer. 75-year-old man, a former engineer in the U.S. Navy who worked in sales, passed away from heart failure. 76-year-old man, a reverend for the United Methodist Church, passed away. And a 77-year-old man, a construction designer, passed away after a long battle with an autoimmune disease. So those are the people who passed away too young from diseases they shouldn't have had locally here in Las Vegas. And we have added Reno, Nevada this week to our list of obituaries. Remember, the average age or life expectancy in the United States is 78.5 years of age, which means 81 for a woman, 76 for a man. Can you live longer than that? Absolutely. We have people who are living to be as old as 129 years old, which we've talked about in this program. The oldest woman in the world passed away at 129 years of age earlier this year. So the race is on to see who can now be the oldest living person who can live longer than 129 years of age. If you're going to live that long, well, you better have a good quality of life and not suffer for years from degenerative diseases. And that's what we're here to help you do, to empower you with information you can use to achieve optimal health and wellness. And why do we do that? Well, frankly, because you can't get it from your doctor. You have to get it from a health provider who specializes in just these kinds of things, because your typical physician is trained in disease management. That's what your insurance pays for, sick care. But if you want optimal health and wellness, you're going to have to take matters into your own hands. I think you know this by now. And if you haven't, well, you're going to figure it out sooner or later, and hopefully sooner. Hopefully you're going to learn about it sooner. I had a patient in my office today. We've been working with him because, well, his PSA, which is his prostate-specific antigen, was highly elevated, and he suspected of having prostate cancer. Just over the last week, with the treatment we've been doing in the office, using a combination of a photon sound beam and pulse electromagnetic field, his PSA is coming down, heading to normal. And we are doing this because this particular patient doesn't want chemotherapy and radiation. So if you don't want that, then you're going to have to be proactive and do what's necessary to put cancer into reverse. And that's going to require, well, some work, frankly, and a health coach to walk you through it. Another patient we've been treating, another prostate cancer patient, I should add, treating with the same protocol. He was diagnosed last year, and he had a PET scan last week of his prostate, which now shows no abnormal findings. So it is possible to achieve optimal health and wellness, even if you have cancer, without conventional therapies such as radiation and chemotherapy. So let's continue on with our discussion. We're going to look now at the obituaries of those who died internationally too young from diseases they shouldn't have had. First, we have Ari Irawan, professional Malaysian golfer, died in his sleep during a tournament in China. He was 28 years of age, and he died from natural causes. Tiger Merritt, American singer and guitarist, died at 31 years of age from an unknown cause of death. Francesco Amindolagin, Italian handball player, died at 35 years of age from a heart attack. Kim English, an American house and gospel singer-songwriter, died at 48 years of age from kidney failure. Sean Smith, American singer, songwriter, and musician, died at 53 years of age from complications of diabetes. Rick Elias, American musician for a ragmuffin band, died at 64 years of age from brain cancer. Roshan Almoradli, Azerbaijani actor, director, and screenwriter, died at 64 years of age from a heart attack. Daryl Hecht, American judge and member of the Supreme Court of Iowa, died at 66 years of age from melanoma skin cancer. Alexei Buldakov, Russian actor, died at 68 years of age from a heart attack. We have Michael Bush, Speaker of the Maryland House of Delegates, died at 72 years of age from pneumonia and non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. Anzac Wallace, New Zealand actor and trade unionist, died at 76 years of age from cancer. Lee Tong, Vietnamese-American anti-communist activist, died at 73 years of age from lung failure. Bill Heine, British radio broadcaster for BBC Radio Oxford, died at 74 years of age from leukemia. Anzac Wallace, New Zealand actor and trade unionist, Oh, we mentioned him. He died at 76 years of age from cancer. Gianfranco Leoncini, Italian soccer player, died at 79 years of age from leukemia. Jay Mahendran, Indian film director and actor, died at 79 years of age from congestive heart failure. Alberto Cortez, Argentine singer and songwriter, died at 79 years of age from a gastric hemorrhage of the stomach. Oli Mekki, Finnish boxer and 1959 European amateur champion, died at 82 years of age from complications of Alzheimer's disease. And finally, Jim Glazer, American country music artist, died at 82 years of age from a heart attack. The last few, of course, exceeded their life expectancy, but I thought they were interesting. All right, well, I'd like to bring on our guest, if he's with us, True Ott, a research scientist who did some very interesting studies as part of his doctoral thesis under the tutelage of Linus Pauling. So I'll let him tell you a little bit about that as we have our discussion now with Dr. True Ott. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Dan. It's always a pleasure being with you. I love what you do with these obituaries. It seems like they never stop, do they?
They never stop. It's ongoing. It's every day, all throughout the year, and we're the only ones who seem to care and even bother to review them.
Well, it's unfortunate, but you know you can lead a person to water, but you can't make him think, right?
Yes, and we learned interesting things from this. I'm fascinated with the reasons why people die, especially at these earlier ages. But one of the things I find most fascinating is that it doesn't how much money, how much fame, and how much power people have. They still get the same diseases and they die like everybody else.
That's right. And you know, we I don't know if you want to live forever. I don't know if that's my goal. But I want to live as long as God wants me to live. Let's put it that way, and do so fully. Live fully. It's not living if you're on life support or having to carry oxygen around with you everywhere you go as you age. You know, if you're suffering from some chronic disease state, that's not living. It's just surviving. You know, I go back to my faith. It's just simply, you know, Jesus came to to give life and to give life more fully, and that's what it's really all about. He doesn't. I submit that the Creator doesn't want us to live tied into chronic disease states. I think that's a prison sentence, very much so. So
yeah, I have a patient. I had a physician in my office yesterday. He is tasked with the assignment of helping patients get off of opioids. We're talking about workers' compensation patients, and to become pain-free. But in order for that to happen, they're going to have to do something other than take drugs. So, for example, I had a patient in my office who came here from Chicago. She had pain in her hip. We used a combination of actually your photon sound beam, Dr. Ott, in conjunction with the QRS, or pulsing electromagnetic field from Germany. And after the first treatment, her pain went away. And then she called me about 2 months later to let me know that the pain was still gone, and she's feeling as good as she had in her entire life. We have other patients like that who were in pain. They did similar treatments, and after 1 or 2 treatments, the pain was gone, even when all other therapies wouldn't work. There's something amazing about increasing the cell's electromagnetic charge, getting it up to where it should be at 70 or higher, because when that drops, as you know, we start to develop disease, and when it gets down low enough, well, we have cancer. And that's how we put it in reverse, by recharging, re-energizing the cells. I'm Dr. Dan Roy. You're listening to The Royal Treatment. My guest today is Dr. True Ott, and we're going to continue a very fascinating discussion after the break, so please stay right with us.
Targeting cancer cells with DMSO reduces the need for full-dose chemotherapy by up to 90% because DMSO targets cancer cells, not healthy cells. Research demonstrates that DMSO, also known as dimethyl sulfoxide, has an affinity for cancer cells, which also allows DMSO to enter them even when DMSO is carrying chemo drugs. Could low-dose chemo with DMSO be the answer you've been searching for? Find out more by calling Dr. Dan Royal at 702-5 562-1454. When low-dose chemo is combined with DMSO or insulin, it's called potentiation therapy. This is because the cancer-killing power they create together is much greater than when they're administered separately. Are you a cancer patient who wants more than disease management? Could low-dose chemo help you achieve optimal health and wellness? Call Dr. Dan Royal at 702-562-1454 to see if you qualify for low-dose chemo. That's 702-562-1454.
Saturday, April 13th, Road Rider of Reno, 2187 Market Street is celebrating their 19th anniversary with lots of raffle prizes and their world-famous poker walk. Donate $1 or more for each hand played. Top prize goes to the 19th highest hand, with all proceeds supporting Operation Employ, serving our nation's heroes one job at a time. Enjoy free lunch noon to 2. In-store specials. Vendors with the latest in tech, fashion, and gadgetry. Music and a no-host bar courtesy of the Beer Peddler. And check out Justin James and the bikes your donated parts helped build for the upcoming Blue Collar Build-Off. Road Rider of Reno's 19th anniversary party. Saturday, April 13th, 9 to 5, 2187 Market Street, supporting Operation Employ and sponsored by Law Tigers. Road Rider of Reno, 2187 Market Street, 775-337-2011.
This is Clarence Collins, producer of Keith Gallagher Jr.'s music and a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Tune in every Sunday at 1:30 p.m. and Tuesdays at 4:30 p.m. to hear Keith's music on the Music Path Show.
Destination Midtown. Experience the difference. Reno's premier shopping extravaganza. Everything imaginable and more. Midtown matters. Get down to Midtown.
Ponderosa Meats, the anchor of Midtown since 1954. USDA choice, USDA prime cut. Ponderosa grass-fed beef. Call 775-322-4063. Ponderosa Meats, tradition, quality, and prime service.
Midtown Reno. Experience the difference. Get down to Midtown. Midtown matters.
You're invited to join Business Connections with Anita every Wednesday from 10 to 11 a.m., connecting businesses with new potential customers here on 1180 a.m. KCKQ America Matters.
To find out what's hot and happening, join Lady J for Smooth Jazz Tune-Up.
Join me Saturdays, 10 to noon, here on America Matters.
Unable to listen to the whole show? A recording of today's program will be available later today. Visit americamatters.us and click on the podcast link. Now, back to the show.
We're back to the show. I'm Dr. Dan Royal, and you, my friends, are now listening to The Royal Treatment. And you may remember from the break, or if you're joining us now for the first time, that our guest today is Dr. True Ott. He did his doctoral dissertation on what brings about the conversion of minerals to enzymes and discovered a radio frequency that helps to make that happen. So we're going to continue our discussion about anything and everything else that Dr. Ott has learned and wants to share with us today in helping you achieve optimal health and wellness. Dr. Ott, let's continue.
Well, thanks again. Yeah, I'm so glad to hear the success stories of the combination of the photon sound beam and the pulse electromagnetic field, the quantum resonance system. But I think a big part of that is, of course, how you supply these most essential minerals into the bloodstream. The bloodstream, the blood and these minerals work together to create enzymes in a wide range of enzymes, actually. We know that happens. And I say we. Dr. Pauling was telling me all about how minerals work at the cell to produce enzymes, and based again on DNA structures, and it's all electrical stimulus. It's all Dr. Becker's body electric and all of that pretty much proves the science. It's not theory or hypotheses that cellular gradients have electromagnetic pulses. So this is what Dr. Pauling was into in the last part of his career, in the latter part of the 1980s into the early 90s. When I first started to talk with him was 91 and 92. He passed away in 93, I believe. When I was speaking with him, he was in his 90s. I think he was 92 years old and going strong. Very much like a mind like a steel trap. always could. We had multiple conversations where we'd pick up 2 weeks after we spoke, and he would act like, like we're just still talking. He completely had full memory of everything that we were talking about, and then picked up like nothing had happened, like there was no break. So I know he was mentally alert completely, and that. So what this is all about is the role of minerals when they're pulsed with electromagnetic field. Something called the calcium ion channel opens up, and when enzymes are produced, well, there's a myriad of enzymes that are powerful antioxidants. They're also powerful anti-inflammatory enzymes. So this would explain why the pain management is so better. But there's something that Pauling was telling me that unfortunately passed away before we could follow this through to its conclusion. Was again, he was pioneering what is now today known as the quantum resonance system. He was pioneering the research of this in Germany, around Munich, with Dr. Gerhard Fischer, a world famous physicist and an engineer, who basically put the technology into reality, which is now the quantum resonant pulsed electromagnetic field, or PEMF. So what Pauling was telling me in one of our very last discussions was, he was like a kid at Christmas. He was excited. He was bubbling. He was saying, "Oh, this is amazing. What we're discovering here. This could be the greatest blessing to humanity." He said, and effects from geriatrics to infants. It's the most amazing breakthroughs, and he was almost hyperventilating. He was so excited about it, and he was telling me that when he applied the pulsed electromagnetic field, he was finding even greater results than what he found in the human cell with plant cells. Okay, especially at the point of germination, where that all-powerful seed, the DNA structures in the seed, when water hits it, hydrogen, oxygen, H2O, reacts with it, suddenly a great miracle occurs. And when we don't stop and think about it. Humanity, we just take it for granted how a little seed, a little acorn, if you will, can give birth to a massive, huge, giant oak tree given time. That little tiny acorn goes into a giant tree, and same with any seed of the grasses. And so what's the implications? He was telling me about what happens when using a pulse electromagnetic field, or what he called resonance, with the seed at the moment of sprouting, which is typically 3 days after soaking in water. 3 days, 72 hours, which I think has spiritual significance given the biblical story of Jesus and his resurrection, right? 3 days, and then he was resurrected again. Life came forth again. Well, guess what? He didn't finish. We didn't finish that discussion, unfortunately. But he did give public lectures on this topic. And again, it wasn't conclusive lectures. He was basically postulating hypotheses and basis of understanding of this in the 70s, right? I understand he gave a resonant lecture on sprouting and seed potentialities in 1978 at Berkeley, University of California at Berkeley. And as I understand it, there was enough interest in the biology chemistry department of University of Cal to do studies on that, and I've been able to understand that in 1980 they found that when barley, and they were hitting different seeds, like 50 different seeds that were sprouting, and hitting them in the 72-hour or 3-day window, and then quantifying the changes, what they call transmutational changes in the seed into the sprouting stem that came out, and of course the roots that came out. Well, only in barley, only in the barley seed did they find a massive change in the enzyme structure of the green sprouting barley leaf, okay, the barley grass itself that comes out. And they were able to isolate a brand new enzyme that's only there in any significant quantities after the pulse electromagnetic field is applied. This they called this enzyme P as in Paul, P4D as in Doctor 1, P4D1. And of course, when they analyzed it as being significantly different than the other literally 100+ enzymes in the barley leaf, they isolated it and began to see, well, what's different about it? Now, this is what I told you this morning on the phone, this really excites me, because I pulled up just basically a summary. I haven't been able to find the full report that was a 6-month study done. I've just got the extract of it, the summary, okay? For whatever reason, I can't find it anywhere in the archives of Cal Berkeley. There was a gentleman that did a lecture on it in 1984 in Hawaii, and this gentleman, after the lecture, he had an unfortunate accident and he passed away, and nobody else was talking about it. But here was what P4D1, according to this summary, said, that it does two things in the human body. They found that it actually stimulated repair of the DNA molecule that it mutated. And they found that disease cells, whether it's, no matter what it is, cancer cells or anything that gives you like ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, these cells, they stimulate the repair, and then when they go through mitosis, there's nothing but healthy cells. In other words, cancer or whatever disease cells, they don't replicate anymore as disease cells. They replicate as healthy cells. That's the first thing. The second thing the laboratory test shows, they actually found that they would attack what's called the protein sheath of a cancer cell. And any cancer cell, doesn't matter what type, any mutated cancer cell, they would eat the protein sheath off that cancer cell. So what? So the white blood cell leukocytes could come in and attack and destroy them. Wow. Can you understand why this excites me? And it also makes me wonder why this hasn't gotten more mainstream coverage. This is huge to me.
Well, it's huge, and it's naturally occurring in nature, and we're looking to find ways and means that we can make it more available to our patients, particularly in the organic form. But there is currently a variation of this that is now available everywhere in health food stores throughout the world, and that is known as green magma. Now, I know it's not the most potent in terms of being able to expose the barley to, or sprouting barley, I should say, to a pulsing electromagnetic field, but it's the best product we have currently available. And I know you're working on doing something organic, and we're going to talk about that when we come back from the break. I'm Dr. Dan Royal. You are listening to The Royal Treatment. My guest today is Dr. True Ott with Mother Earth Minerals. As you heard Dr. Ott say, he did his research, and I should say doctoral research, under the tutelage of Linus Pauling, and helped us all to understand, through his discovery, how minerals convert through transmutation to enzymes. Enzymes are extremely important, and maybe we can address that when we come back from the break as well. You're listening to The Royal Treatment. Our hope today is that your time with us will be well spent so that you, my friends, can learn one new thing to empower you in your life for health optimization. We're going to take a break, but stay with us. We'll be right back.
After forming all the organs and body components necessary for human life, stem cells disappear, right? No! Stem cells are present in all of us, just waiting for an opportunity to regenerate organs, joints, ligaments, muscles, and other body tissues they originally formed. Dr. Dan Royal has developed a unique patent-pending process for obtaining stem cells from your own blood. Stem cells can be concentrated, prepared, and delivered to areas where you need them most to repair old, damaged, and dying cells. Can your own stem cells help rejuvenate your body? To find out, call Dr. Dan Royal at 702-562-1454. Your own naturally occurring stem cells are the ultimate anti-aging treatment. They can be used to improve facial appearance and hair growth, as well as for aches, pains, and other conditions. Could your own stem cells help you achieve optimal health and wellness? Find out by calling Dr. Royal at 702-562-1454. Don't wait, call today. That number again is 702-562-1454.
Another Monday, another season. Out to lunch. Mondays at noon on 1180 KCKQ America Matters. Number 1 in Reno for community radio. I'm Deidre, your host. Do you have something interesting going on that you want to talk about? Speak up and be heard. I've had tax attorneys, bands, artists, fundraisers, authors, elks, doctors, lawyers, and Indian chiefs. Anyone interesting with something going on can come be on the show. Let the community know all about it. Do you have something interesting or a charitable event going on? Mondays at noon. Out to lunch on America Matters, 1180 KCKQ, also streaming live and podcasted on americamatters.us. That's also where you can contact me, Deidre, at americamatters.us. Or you can find me at the Elbow Room, Wednesday through Fridays, 2002 Victorian Avenue in Sparks. Call 358-6700. Out to lunch with Deidre, Mondays at noon, 1180 a.m. KCKQ, America Matters, streaming live on americamatters.us. Number 1 in Reno Community Radio.
The Delta and Bonanza saloons in Virginia City are simply elegant. Imagine ascending the grand staircase and being surrounded by the Victorian elegance and grandeur of the historic banquet rooms. Original crystal chandeliers, mahogany bars, and oak dance floors highlight the eloquently appointed spaces. A truly romantic and unique setting for your wedding, banquets, or holiday parties. Detailed ceremony and menu planning ensures your special event is a memorable occasion. With just one call to Jesse at 775-847-0789, all of your arrangements will be handled by their experienced staff with your every expectation in mind, including cakes, flowers, photography, videography, music, and party amenities. Complete ceremony and reception packages are available, as well as their famous themed weddings. Since 1865, the Delta and Bonanza Saloons guests have come from every state in the Union. Now it's your turn. No event is too large or too small. Let the Delta and Bonanza Saloons plan your next incredible event. Call Jesse at 775-847-0789.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station, the power of radio since 1967.
To join the conversation, call 844-790-TALK. That's 844-790-8255. Now back to the show.
We are back to the show, and I'm Dr. Dan Royal, and you are listening to The Royal Treatment. We're here every week to answer your health questions, which, by the way, you can email me at any time during the week. Just send your questions to droyal@royalmedicalclinic.com. That's D as in Daniel, Royal, R-O-Y-A-L. Just like it sounds, Royal Blue at Royal Medical Clinic, all one word, .com. Remember, if we use your question on the air, we give you a free bottle of RBC Blend, a product that is used to increase circulating stem cells in your blood, a $100 value, including shipping. Is it worth it? Absolutely. If you have a need for a medical treatment, you can contact our clinic here in Las Vegas, Turtle Healing Band Clinic at 702-562-1454. That's 702-562-1454. Our guest today is Dr. Drew Ott with Mother Earth Minerals. Those are the minerals that we use in our office with our patients, and we actually have a protocol where we're using them in combination with the photon sound beam and the pulsing electromagnetic field for the treatment of patients who have cancer and or active Epstein-Barr virus, or both. If that sounds like you and you're interested in participating in the study, give us a call or send me an email. So now, let's continue our discussion. Dr. Ott, we were talking about barley, and we mentioned that there is an over-the-counter version available called Green Magma, and that this produces enzymes as well as minerals when properly combined with the radio frequency of 432 hertz. Take it away.
Yeah, right. Dr. Hajiwara, I should say, had developed the green magma product. I understand they're manufacturing it here in America at a place in Oxnard, California. That's where it's made. I explained it to you. That's probably the best alternative to, just getting the green barley yourself and juicing it. The reality is, humans aren't designed to eat grass, where we don't have that extra stomach called a rumen that the ungulates like cattle and other animals have. Horses and others have a different cecum structure of the stomach to process the grasses. Humans do not. So we have to extract it from, extract the lifeblood itself, which is the juice out of it, and that's what brings the healing. We're just not able to digest the cellulose and that in the green leaves. So Dr. Hajiwara said, well, we can slowly do a freeze-dry process where we slowly can keep it at a low heat, below 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and thus keep most of the enzymes intact. Yes, there are enzymes that are there, but enzymes are funky things, Dr. Dan. Some of them just start to decompose immediately after extraction. They're still there as long as the grass is fresh and clean and nice. But there's been all kinds of nutrient studies on dried hay, alfalfa. When you dry it, it's got a 20 or 25% loss in nutrients, depending on which study you look at. And that's the same with grasses. So even though you dry and bale a good high protein crop like alfalfa, you're going to have the protein intact and that, but the enzymes are they're hurt. They're just not as potent as that. So yeah, barley extract like that and green magma is certainly better than not having anything, because the amino acids there, the protein structures are there. But the all-important living enzymes, they're not there in nearly as much as a high-quality quantity as they should be. So the challenge before us, as I talked to you on the phone this morning, is to educate people as to how to do it themselves and take a few minutes. I mean, yeah, okay, well, it's 5 minutes more in your daily schedule to start growing barley grass and learning how to extract it. And the beautiful thing is, I'm finding in my research, you don't need a lot of this. Maybe an ounce of the grass extract a day, the barley extract a day, is all you really need as far as those enzymes. You don't need a lot to kickstart. And again, going back to what Dr. Hajiwara discovered, as well as many other researchers, nutritionists, pharmacologists in Japan and Germany, right? The Germans and the Japanese were pretty much allied before World War II in this research, as well as post-World War II. So I must say that the findings on a super enzyme called SOD, which stands for superoxide dismutase, is powerful stuff. I mean, it's really not there in anything else like wheatgrass. It's there in small quantities, but nothing like it is in the barley. And why is that important? Well, SOD, superoxide dismutase, studies in aging has shown that as you age, and if you age prematurely, the prematurely aging is directly proportional to the amount of SOD enzyme in your cells and in the cell tissues. So what I'm saying is a young, thriving teenager that's healthy and doing well has very high levels of SOD in the serum. But as they age, especially when they go into middle age, those SOD levels drop. Well, it appears like the barley extract, the barley leaf juice, can rejuvenate that, and is anti-aging. That's what surely it appears like. And the studies done not only in humans, but also in lab animals show this. Can increase life expectancy as much as 150%. Think about that. SOD levels. If they maintain the SOD levels, you know, your graying of your hair, the wrinkles of the skin, all of these things, which are oxidation factors of aging, they can be minimized. Now, I think that's pretty huge. I don't know about you, but it's exciting.
It is interesting, and one of the things I might interject is superoxide dismutase is one of 3 antioxidants our body should be making. In other words, you're much better off if you're able to increase the production of your own antioxidants rather than taking antioxidants from other sources, although this is okay as a passive source, but ideally your body's making its own antioxidants, the others of which are catalase and glutathione. Here's what happens when those levels drop. We did an experiment with our patients some years ago in conjunction with SpectraCell, a nutritional testing company that measures the nutritional efficiencies of your lymphocytic white blood cells by growing them in media. It's the most accurate nutritional test in the country that checks for vitamins, minerals, amino acids, antioxidants, etc. The only one that we recommend. And what we found was when you are able to take a product that increases the production of your own antioxidants, superoxide dismutase, catalase, glutathione, guess what happens? Your nutritional deficiencies correct themselves. So when those antioxidant levels are down, your body steals nutritional supplements, I shouldn't say supplements, sources from the body in order to make up for that deficiency. Anyway, I just thought I would just throw that in there. That's how important it is.
Absolutely.
And I know that you're working on trying to find a way by which people can use the organic barley in conjunction with PMF, the pulsing electromagnetic field, which we recommend be the QRS, a quantum resonance system from Germany, because it has a much more powerful effect when they're combined together. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. Hearing you say that reminded me just echoes of what Dr. Pauling said. Exactly, the glutathione, all of the essential enzymes, as he explained to me. The minerals, specifically the daily macro minerals, are essential for the body to produce that. Absolutely. So he says the minerals are best described as coenzyme factors. In other words, the cells just cannot produce them unless they have the minerals present, because that's how it's like the raw material that they use. It's like the mitochondria, what they call the Golgi complex in the cell, and what Johann Krebs, a contemporary of and co-researcher with Linus Pauling, named what's called the Krebs cycle, where the enzymes are produced like a factory line once the minerals are available inside the cell. So the key thing is getting those minerals in past the nuclear cell wall into the Golgi complex and mitochondria for the Krebs cycle to work. This is why our minerals are different. Dr. Pauling explained there has to be a redox potential on those. They have to have a plus-plus polarity, and they have to be in the small enough particle size, meaning it's basically an angstrom-sized particle, to go inside of the cell wall. Otherwise, it doesn't do anything at all. It might as well just, flush it down the toilet. Doesn't work. And so that's what Pauling taught me and why my minerals are different. See? So, yeah, what barley is, though, with the substances, and you're exactly right, when the best ways for the body to produce them, but if it's not producing them and there's a healing lag, there's stress in the parasympathetic nervous system because that's not there. So the barley juice or the barley green magma can supply that to relieve stress, and that's a kind of a stopgap measure until the body balances out and produces them itself, which is exactly why we have the photon, the QRS, and the minerals in combo.
Very good. Thank you for being with us today. That is excellent. We'll be continuing this discussion from time to time. And as we find the product available for you to use at home in its organic form, we will let you know. Just stay in contact with us or email me at droyal@royalmedicalclinic.com. The QRS, a pulsing electromagnetic field, is already available and has many healing benefits. I want to thank you, Dr. Ott, for being with us and educating us, and I want to thank you, the listeners, for being with us, and hopefully you've learned one new thing to empower you. Until next week, you be well.
Hey, Dr. Phil